I want to talk about Cory Booker. Cory Booker is trash. And I have no qualm saying it so definitively. The reason I have no problem saying it is because he has a long track record of being on the wrong side of an argument, being on the wrong side of an argument, so much so that he makes neoliberals look better in comparison. You gotta go the extra mile to be so neoliberal that you make other neoliberals look reasonable. Cory Booker, let me start at the beginning. There's an article in Vox.com. And in this article, they're discussing Elizabeth Warren and they're discussing Cory Booker in regards to their politics and their position towards Donald Trump. And again, before I even read this, I want you to know that he's been problematic for a very long time. But on yesterday, this article came out, and this is what he had to say with regard to Donald Trump. He said, "I called Donald Trump a liar on national TV. And when I got off TV, I felt bad because it violated my values. I can say he was lying, which is the right thing to do because he did lie. And he does lie quite often. But I don't like to be crossing a line and condemning his soul." So for Cory Booker, it's very problematic. It bothers him. It bothers him that he has to call, or that he did get on television and call Donald Trump a liar. Never mind the fact that Donald Trump, yes, is a liar. That speaks volumes to me, not because he's not willing to take on the fight. That's a problem in itself. Let's discuss this. Let's discuss this piece by piece. And this is the low-hanging fruit. We're going to go through a list of reasons why he's problematic above and beyond this. But when you're dealing with a person like Donald Trump, we don't have time for milquetoast liberals who are afraid to even call the man a liar, when he will call Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, when he will mock disabled reporters. I mean, I don't even have to go down when he will call Mexicans rapists. We don't even have to go down the list of all the things that are problematic with Donald Trump. And I hear people say, this is what he followed up with in that article. He said, he quoted Martin Luther King, "You can't drive out darkness with darkness, you have to drive it out with love." I get it. All the love and respect with Dr. King, but we're not living in reasonable, rational times. We are not living in times where you can ostensibly take the higher road all of the time. We need people who will get into the fight and fight like their life depended on it, because in many cases, your life does depend on it. And to have a sitting senator so afraid or so shaken up because he had to call the president a liar suggests to me that he's just definitely not qualified to lead any resistance whatsoever. But I think it's deeper than the fact that he doesn't want to call Donald Trump a liar. It's really a statement to he genuinely feels at his core, Cory Booker believes at his core that he has the ability in and of himself, that his character and his desire and his demeanor is so magnanimous that he will be able to single-handedly change the nature of our politics in America. I'm sorry, Cory Booker, we tried that with Barack Obama, and he learned later than he should have, but he learned that American politics are more intransigent than all of your hope and dreams. All your hope and desires to bring a consensus between two sides. And to me, this speaks not only to some idealistic desire by Cory Booker, it really speaks to the megalomaniac that he is. He really believes that he is above American politics. And to me, that speaks even more volumes about his character. The fact that it's not that he doesn't want to mix it up. He honestly believes that his presence will be able to change the nature of American politics. Well, while you're busy trying to change the nature of American politics, Cory, the rest of us are in the fight of our lives. The LGBTQ community is in the fight of its life. The Black community is in the fight of its life. The marginalized communities all over the country, immigrants, migrants, they're in the fight of their lives, and you're sitting back afraid to call Donald Trump a liar. That's why I don't have a problem calling you garbage, and garbage who will never be the president of the United States. But that's the low-hanging fruit. Earlier this week, he refused to even be a good Democrat. Right now, the Democrats are going headlong headlong into the impeachment process. They're making calls for Donald Trump to be impeached, and Cory Booker can't even be a good Democrat and line up with them. He wouldn't even go as far as to say Jared Kushner's security clearance should be revoked because Jared Kushner tried to establish a back-channel communication with Russia. Now, reasonable people would say we should slow down and make sure we have the evidence that we need, but we're not talking about a reasonable Democratic Party. And you could think for a moment that maybe Cory Booker is saying we need to slow down and wait for evidence. That could be it. Or it could be the fact that Cory Booker has received thousands upon thousands of dollars from the Kushner family, directly from Jared Kushner. Now, this is according to reporting by David Sirota of the International Business Times. I see 23 contributions, either from Jared Kushner himself, Joshua Kushner, Mark Kushner, Murray Kushner, Cyril Kushner, in the amount of $2,500, $2,600, $5,200, to a total of $41,000 of combined contributions from the Kushner family. Now, you could be idealistic and say, well, he really is just waiting on evidence from the Democratic Party to actually pursue impeachment processes and to revoke Jared Kushner's security clearance. Or you could be a realist like myself and say this money has something to do with it. Cory Booker has been garbage for quite some time. He's the darling of Wall Street. The darling of Wall Street. He has received more money in Wall Street than almost any other senator in the United States of America. And just pull up the clip of 2012 in a conversation when the re-election campaign of President Obama was taking a hard line against companies like Bain Capital, and Cory Booker not even willing to sacrifice his relationship with Wall Street to be a good Democrat and to be on the side of President Obama, to be a good neoliberal. He said this instead.
As far as that stuff, I have to just say from a very personal level, I'm not about to sit here and indict private equity. To me, it's just this, we're getting to a ridiculous point in America, especially that I know I live in a state where pension funds, unions, and other people are investing in companies like Bain Capital. If you look at the totality of Bain Capital's record, they've done a lot to support businesses, to grow businesses, and this, to me, I'm very uncomfortable. You know, this kind of stuff is nauseating to me on both sides. It's nauseating to the American public. Enough is enough. Stop attacking private equity. Stop attacking Jeremiah Wright. This stuff has got to stop, because what it does is it undermines, to me, what this country should be focused on. It's a distraction from the real issues. It's either going to be a small campaign about this crap, or it's going to be a big campaign, in my opinion, about the issues that American public cares about. So
instead of being even a good Democrat, he's shown that he's willing to shirk the Democratic Party, not for more evidence with regard to Russia, which is the right thing to do, not for more evidence with regard to Jared Kushner, which is the right thing to do, not for the sake of talking about reforming Wall Street and not doing any reforms for Wall Street, which is what the Democratic Party actually does. He's not doing it. He's not shirking the Democratic Party for the progressive reasons. He's shirking the Democratic Party for even further neoliberal principles than the Democratic Party has. I mean, he will not even stand in line with the neoliberalism of the Democratic Party for the sake of his contributions from the Kushner family and his contributions from Wall Street. He's been a problem for a long time, and it's packaged neatly into a bright smile. It's packaged neatly into singing in the car with his staffer. It's packaged neatly into all these types of a caricature of a black politician. He's actually like the Manchurian Democrat, the Democrat that's nicely polished, well-groomed, well-educated, ready to go out into the world and be the perfect identity politics politician. Problem is that now the rest of the Democratic Party is finally catching up to the reality that progressives have known for a long time. Cory Booker is garbage and never needs to be the president of the United States. Have a good night.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support The Benjamin Dixon Show. It's Ben Dixon! If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.